Hey everybody, it's Joey. So last night I was able to watch Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie, Kinds of Kindness. He co-wrote this with his writing partner that he wrote Killing of a Sacred Deer with, Dogtooth, The Lobster, I think a couple others. But he's back working with him on this one. I don't think he worked with him on Poor Things, but Kinds of Kindness felt a little bit more like a return to that style of filmmaking and writing and dialogue. Really great stuff. We have Emma Stone in the cast, Jesse Plemons. Those are like your two leads: Willem Dafoe, Margaret Qualley, Hong Chow, Steve Alwyn, Mamadou Ati, and a bunch of other people that you've seen here and there in Yorgos's work. They've kind of been playing in his world for a while. The film is just under 3 hours long. It is three short films kind of combined into one. There is a thematic overture that ties them all together, and there's some little things here and there in each film that kind of make you wonder if they are happening in the same world, but there's a through line there. So if you've seen other Yorgos films, especially Killing of a Sacred Deer, especially The Lobster, I think there's going to be something for you here, because it is very much in that vein. Very strange dialogue, characters make strange choices, their conversations are very strange. There's a bit of heavy kind of choice and consequence stuff happening in each of these films. I'm not going to go too much into what happens in each. I want to keep this spoiler free so you can make your own conclusion if you decide to see the movie, but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts. So Jesse Plemons, Emma Stone, knockouts in this film. I thought they were great. They're so good at kind of just melting into whatever role they have in each of these short films. Emma Stone and Yorgos, match made in heaven. I absolutely love that they keep working together. Jesse Plemons, I haven't seen him in a ton of things. I know he's been in a lot. I haven't seen Civil War yet, but I love him whenever I do see him, and he really kills it in this. He plays uncanny and strange and awkward super well in this, and he's even very, very unsettling at times. And those two just blew me away. Willem Dafoe and Margaret Qualley also bring kind of those qualities to the stories that they're a part of, and you never really understand these characters' motivations. You sort of do, you sort of don't. It takes place in a world that feels surreal, almost ethereal, or just chopped up. And you don't really get how these people exist in our world. It feels like our world, but it also feels like, at times it feels almost cartoonish. Sometimes it feels surreal, Lynchian, kind of, especially in the dialogue and the things they choose to discuss and how they choose to discuss it. Just sometimes seems stilted or just very old school. Feels like almost like you're reading a comic book, but there's a lot of strange music going on. There's strange visual choices, cinematography choices that are made that just kind of pull you in and out and around this world. And I absolutely loved it. I'm so glad I love Poor Things. I'm so glad Yorgos is back to making this kind of movie. I saw, when I went to see it, there wasn't a ton of people in the theater. I was laughing at a lot of the beats in the movie. I think what happens with Yorgos movies is either you're disturbed or maybe you fall on the side where you think, it's like more dark humor to you, and things seem a little too uncanny and a little too funny to really be kind of horrified because it's so absurd. But it does, these shorts do seem to take. Now, I'm not a super big expert in folklore and kind of local myth and stuff, but it seems to be taking a lot of premises from those kind of things, similar to Killing of a Sacred Deer. There's kind of a whole, I don't know what I would call it, like a changeling kind of story or something like that. It's not so overt. There's no monsters. It's not like any macabre weirdness. It's just the characters that we see in each of these short films just playing in this new world, this new narrative, and it's just so beautifully uncanny. And it totally enveloped me. I didn't stop for a moment. It kept my attention. It is slow at times, but that's kind of how Yorgos works. It's some of it is a slow burn, and there is somewhat of a payoff to the stories in satisfying, unsatisfying, uncomfortable ways that make his stories so beautiful and kind of impactful, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to keep this one short. If you're a big fan of Yorgos' previous films, I mean, if Poor Things is your first Yorgos film, you haven't seen anything else, go watch The Lobster, go watch Killing of a Sacred Deer and Dogtooth, then maybe come back to this, because you have to understand kind of the style. Poor Things is similar. There's a lot of that uncanniness, but there's a whole different brand of Yorgos uncanny, beautiful tragedy happening in his other films that definitely come back with this one, and I think we might see more of in his next. So if you have seen it, let me know what you think. Comment down below if you have seen it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We want to start doing more of these videos, and I'll see you soon. Later.